The Philadelphia Eagles are in the playoffs, and their opponent has been revealed. We're going to find out all about that, as well as talking about the game that wasn't a game from Saturday night and exposing a cold take of my own. All that and more coming up next.
The following announcement has been paid for by
the ENN Podcast.
He has a good energy, you guys.
Can you feel
Sport.
that excitement? And also,
The merchandise, wearing the hats.
Is what I'm seeing for real?
Wild here live from Lincoln Financial.
I can't wait till this video's over so I can say its name anymore.
Music.
Wow.
Again, and I hate to do this again, but these are
What the hell? What is that? Whoa! What the hell?
And more.
What's his next book gonna be called? Got you sucker! I did not see that coming.
And as a buddy of mine from Germany used to say, so we go. And here we go as the playoffs are just under a week away for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm professional wrestler Chris Wilde. This is Bar 4133, and this is the ENN Podcast. And who would have thought back in week 7, week 5, who would have known when we were 2-5 that we'd be talking about playoffs for this Philadelphia Eagles team? I would be lying if I told you that I did, because I didn't. I don't think anybody did. I mean, it was a train wreck. We weren't running the ball. Guys were getting three carries a game. Jalen Hurts was running around, passing the ball 88 times. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but it was just nuts. The defense couldn't defend against anybody, and it just looked like it was going to be a dumpster fire of a season where Nick Sirianni might not even make it through his first NFL season. And now here we sit with Nick Sirianni being the only rookie head coach from this year's class to make it to the playoffs. Just an unbelievable story for these Philadelphia Eagles, and it might end in days. But again, this is all bonus for us. We're playing with house money. Nobody thought that this was going to happen, so this is all extra. Now look, if they lose this week, will we be a little bit disappointed? I guess so, but not as much as normal, because again, who would have thought we would be here? And it just so happens that the Philadelphia Eagles have 3 first-round picks in next year's draft, 10 total, a bunch of cap space. The future and the needle is pointing up. But before we get to the opponents from this week, I just kind of want to talk a little bit about that game that wasn't a game Saturday night in 20-degree weather against the Dallas Cowboys. The Philadelphia Eagles, Nick Sirianni, decided to sit just about all their starters. Kelsey played 1 snap to keep his streak alive, and they got Devontae Smith his 38 yards that he needed for the Eagles' rookie receiving record. Other than that, there were nobody out there for the Eagles that really ever started. As a matter of fact, at one point during the defense, I had absolutely no idea who was out there. And as you know, this is what I do. I follow the Eagles. I have over 500 videos that are Eagles related, and I couldn't tell you who Kerry Vincent was. I don't know. There were some of these guys I just had no idea. It was like as if they came off the street and they were playing against the Dallas Cowboys starters. Now look, as an Eagle fan, I hate the Cowboys, right? And this is reasons why I hate the Cowboys. For whatever reason, Mike McCarthy, and he better be thanking his God above that Dak Prescott didn't get hurt and no Cowboy starters got hurt, because he played them into the fourth quarter against, again, guys that are 4th and 5th stringers. And the Cowboys are celebrating touchdowns as if they were playing the starters, and the commentators were even buying into it. I mean, it just was ridiculous to me to risk injury. Now, the Eagles lost Tyree Jackson to an ACL injury. They lost him for the season. He is a secondary player. But again, it could have been a starter. It could have been a Cowboy. It just didn't make sense to me why they would do that. It's just such a Cowboy thing to do, to put 51 points up against Eagle backups and saying that you're going to get momentum. Now, this thing drives me nuts, because the same commentators and the same analysts that said, oh, the Cowboys keeping their starters in that long are gaining momentum for the playoffs against 4th and 5th stringers are the same people that said, well, the Eagles haven't beaten anybody. They've beaten backup quarterbacks. Well, which one is it? Pick your poison. Stay with it, because it doesn't make sense to me. It drives me absolutely nuts. Now, were there some things to come out of that game Eagles-wise? Yeah. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is an absolute bust and an absolute bum. If we didn't know it before, we know it now. He's actually on the IR with a finger injury. I don't even know if that is true, but that's where he is. And then Milton Williams. Now, look, last video, I exposed some cold takes from some NFL analysts that were just absolutely wrong about this team. I am not innocent in that. I said some things about this team that were not right as well. Going back to the offseason, I put out a tweet that somebody actually called me out on, which made me remember. It was during that scene between Howie Roseman and Tom Donahoe, where Tom Donahoe was pissed off that the Eagles picked Milton Williams. And I actually sent out a tweet and said Tom Donahoe looked like he was going to be Tom Smackahoe because the Eagles drafted a lineman that hadn't been healthy in a year and a defensive tackle with small arms or something like that. Now, of course, let's talk about Landon Dickerson, who looks to be an absolute stud, and Milton Williams, who played most of the game against the Cowboys. And he looks like an absolute beast, and he's looked like a beast with the starters as well. He definitely looks like somebody that isn't going to be a wasted pick. I was absolutely wrong about that, and I've been wrong, but that's the beauty of doing this, right? We have our opinions. I'm not getting paid thousands of dollars to make them on national TV, so I think that's a little bit different. But talking about national TV next week, as we segue into that, I got to admit that was pretty good. The Philadelphia Eagles will face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. The Eagles get into the playoffs and have to play the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, and a pretty awesome defense over there in Tampa. Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator, one of the best coaches in the game. Bruce Arians won a Super Bowl last year. The Eagles have it all stacked up against them with a rookie head coach, basically a rookie as we've been calling him, Jalen Hurts, at the starter for quarterback. No, I know he's not a rookie. He's pretty damn good if you ask me. And a rushing attack that hopefully will be at 100% next week. Hopefully they get back Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard. And again, they have got the deck stacked against them, guys. I can't sugarcoat this at all. And I'm planning on doing a review video, preview video later on in the week. But let's just get to it right now. I mean, the Eagles are 8-point underdogs in this football game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are banged up, and they're getting some of their guys back, like Leonard Fournette. Like the linebacker Barrett. They're getting a little bit healthier going into this game, which isn't great for the Eagles. They have a great offensive line in Tampa Bay, but this is the team, and again, they have the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady. He's the biggest piece. But this is the team that if I had to pick, besides the Arizona Cardinals, it would be the Cardinals or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that I would want the Eagles to face. Now, there was a part of me that thought they were going to face the Rams, and that was a possibility, and I just don't want to see Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and Von Miller and Odell Beckham Jr. and the best wide receiver in the game in Cooper Kupp. I don't want to see a determined and motivated Matt Stafford playing in his first, I believe it's his first, it might be his second playoff game ever. I don't want any part of that. I would rather have a sort of beat up Tampa Bay team. The last time they played us, it was a 6-point game. Now look, they dominated us throughout that whole game. The 6 points felt like 60. However, they had Chris Godwin there. That's now gone. Due to being injured. They had Antonio Brown, who completely just melted down last week and put a lot of unwanted attention on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And like I said, they've got guys that are just banged up and hurt. Levante David, they don't know if he's going to play this coming Sunday at 1 o'clock. The Eagles get the worst spot, by the way, on the card, if you will. But again, this is just a team that I would want to play because I think that the Eagles, I think they have a fighter's chance against this team. Against the Rams, I really think they would get absolutely blown out. But with this team, I think they have a fighter's chance. They've played them before. They kind of have a feel for them. Now, one of the biggest things that worries me about this football game, and is the reason why I don't see, as we sit right now, I don't see the Eagles winning, is because of our defense and the fact that it seems like when we play good quarterbacks, the defense gets dominated and annihilated. And they're going to be facing not a good quarterback. They're going to be facing the greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady. Now, is this the one game? Because do you go law of averages? Well, eventually, the Eagles have to play good against a good quarterback. Is this the game that happens? Is this the game where the front four actually gets pressure, or Gannon blitzes most of the game to try to stop Tom Brady? Do they watch tape from when the Saints played the Buccaneers and shut them out? I mean, I don't know, but this would be a great time for it. And if the Eagles, everybody plays at their strength, like Jason Kelce said in a speech earlier this month, I don't think anyone can F with them. But it has to all happen at once. And in any football game, That's unlikely. But who knows? Worst thing, I mean, they could be Carson Wentz and the Colts and not be in the playoffs, but they are here, and I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. I'm going to enjoy the game, and this ride this week is going to be pretty awesome to be an Eagles fan, because, again, we're not supposed to be here. That being said, guys, I got nothing else for you right now. I think I've rambled on enough. Again, the excitement's in the air. It's awesome. I'm wearing a beautiful hoodie, absolutely beautiful birthday hoodie, and I'm amped up and psyched up for this coming Sunday. Playoffs! Damn, that feels good. And it didn't take them 18 games to do it, or it didn't take them till week 18 to do it. They had basically a bye week this week, and hopefully that pays off going into Sunday against Tampa, if you will, Bay. With that being said, guys, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, I will have my PayPal information down below in the description box. With that being said, guys, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, wear your masks, because if you're living where I do, it's now mandated. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. Go Birds, and I'll see you later.
B-A-T-L-E-S, Eagles! B-A-T-L-E-S, Eagles!
I need Eagle Nation to stand.